So many girls sit there and will rate themselves 7, 8, 9, and I'm just like, what, 10? Like, what? That's wild. Most women fall in the 4 to 6 range, to be honest.
Damn. What's the percentage of women?
Huh?
What's the percentage of women that falls in that 4 to 6?
Most women are average, because that's what the average by definition means. Most women are in this range. It's average.
You said, so I should just settle for an average guy. And I'm like, you're an average woman. Why would you be settling and he wouldn't? So what would he be doing? Would he be upgrading?
He don't got no money.
You ain't fine enough for no money.
I'm not fine enough for money.
No. You said you're 6. You don't get money. You get second shift at the plant.
Back again for another video. On today's topic, we'll be talking about a 10 being the average woman. Now, that may sound strange. That may sound a bit awkward. How could a 10 be the average woman? Well, let's do a little thought experiment here. Let's say that, let's use currency, okay? Let's say that we have 100 ones, $1 bills. We have 10 $10 bills. We have 10 $20 bills. We have 5 $5 bills. We have 5 $50 bills, and we have 1,000 $100 bills. Maybe you can see where I'm going with this already. But which one of the bills is average according to the population? Which one is average? Of course, the average bill that you're going to find amongst the ones that I just named in their numeration is the $100 bill. Now, of course, there are beauty standards, okay? There are things when it comes to women in regards to there not being abundantly so many women of a certain category in regards to their looks. But let's face it, things have changed a little bit here. We have women getting surgeries, we have makeup and all these things that are improving the physical enhancements sector of the beauty industry, right? And thus being so, women have more access to things to manipulate how they look more readily, and they can become a little bit higher in physical appearance than what they would have been before all the enhancements in makeup. Now, I will agree that when you take all these things away from the women, things will go back to normal. A 10 won't be the average woman, and I'm using 10 as I don't really mean it that way, but you know, a beautiful woman won't be the average woman anymore, because if you take all these things away, the bell curve goes back to normal. But the thing is, I don't think women understand men when they say this, that no matter how pretty you are, let's say that you are close to an 8 or 9 or 10 or something like that in beauty standards, you're the average woman. You are average. That's the unintended consequence that women are running into in regards to them increasing their physical appearance and attraction. That more and more women are doing it, and therefore that's becoming average. You cannot escape this, okay? A lot of women think that if they increase their beauty standards, their options become a lot more. No, you get the same men. It doesn't matter. You get the same men, because here's the thing. Okay, let's say that this money that I gave you, you know, these amounts of money that I gave you. Let's say that I distribute them amongst 10 people evenly. Well, a lot of those people, or every single last one of those people are going to have $100 bills. It doesn't matter if they deserve them or not. If I have to distribute these things evenly amongst the people, they are going to get $100 bills, regardless of if they deserve it or not, because of the saturation level. Or what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to say, okay, well, there are certain people here who don't deserve $100 bills. So one or two things are either going to happen. Either I'm going to have to offload more $100 bills onto certain people that I select, or I am going to have to retain those $100 bills and not give them any more than what they should get. Those are the only options. And this is exactly, and I mean exactly, what we're seeing out here. These women, they seem to think that just because they increase their beauty, by enhancements, or, they just are just inherently, beautiful, that their options are going to be greater than when they weren't that. No, my dear, you have two options. Two options. The options are either you offload yourself on the man who is going to attract more women for whatever reason of a certain caliber, meaning more $100 bills, as I just explained to you, or you have to remain single. But there is a third option here. There is a third option, and that is the initial option that I went with. I'm going to have to evenly distribute these $100 bills amongst these 10 people. This is the part that women don't like, especially when they have done so much to themselves. They work out, they increase their beauty, etc. They get all these enhancements. They don't want to distribute themselves to men that they think are undeserving of those $100 bills. But still, if we were to say that the 10 people were the average man, right? They're average men, or let's say 2 out of the 10 people were above average and the other 80% was average. Oh, how about this? How about we make it more equitable? Okay. Let's just say that 20% are below average, 20% are above average, and 60% are average. Okay. Cause that's kind of about, where we're at. Okay. Sure. Plus or minus 10%, whatever, standard deviation, right? So let's just say that we went with that. All right. When you still apply that money, the population is still going to be heavily consolidated according to who gets what in that 60%, as far as what the percentage is that people are supposed to get. Let's say that we gave no money or little money. Let's say that we gave maybe, I don't know, $50, $100 bills to the lower than average, the 20%. All right. And that we gave an extra, I don't know, $100 to the above. Still, when you look at the amount of money that goes to that 60% and you pool it together in the 3 sections, who has the most money collectively? The average, the 60% has the most money collectively. But once again, here's the problem. The women, they don't want to conform to being with the average man because they think that because they are so much of whatever they believe themselves to be, whether it be, a businesswoman or, educated or, own their own business, look a certain way, etc., etc. Whatever they decide themselves to be, they think that they are worth more than what the average man has to give. But yet and still, they are the average woman. No matter how much you think of yourself as a woman to be greater than the average, you're more than likely the average. And the reason why you're more than likely the average is because you are the abundant mean. And you know what a mean is, right? You can look this up. But you are the abundant mean. You are the average. You're what men are going to run across majority of the time in regards to all those things that I named. Owning a business, being looking a certain way, behaving a certain way, whatever. You're not special. There's like, if we were to go with the black community, I would say there's probably, let's see, 14 million women, something like that. About 7 million of you are about the same. 7 million. 7 million of you are about the same. And that may sound a little disheartening. That may sound a little apathetic, but that's the truth. I don't know what else to tell you. You are the 10 as the average woman. And I'm saying this in a, you know what I mean? It's not literal, but you know what I mean? It's a allegory. Okay. The 10 is the average woman. Now, what are men going to do about this? Because obviously these women believe themselves to be so staunch and so high up, they won't accept anything less. And, I'll talk about that here in a minute, but they won't accept anything less than, they're going to hold out for that top 20% of men, right? Because that's where they think that majority of the money should go, where the $100 bill should go, right? Problem is, what are you doing in the meantime? As a man, you're increasing yourself. You're considering other options, because obviously these women don't want to be an option for you. So therefore they are not an option for you. You become a passport, bro. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens. And once again, these women are baffled by this because they don't understand why this is occurring. It's because the saturation of the market when it comes to beautiful women isn't being favorable to the average man because of the way they see themselves. They think of themselves to be greater than what the average man has to offer. They don't view it as a fair exchange. But if you look around, and I would ask plenty of women, look around, how many women are either the same amount of beauty as you are or greater versus not? I don't see, and the crazy part about this is, even when I walk around in public, and of course, my personal experience doesn't speak for the general reality, but from my own personal experience, when I walk around in public, I kind of see more women that I would, take serious as far as their looks, and that's another story. I'll tell you that one too, but I would take them serious, upon initial glance, because they have a certain level of beauty to them that is appealing to me. The average woman. Okay. The woman that I see the most. All right. And I'm sure that, they might give me a chance, but on to my other thoughts about this. I generally believe women, shall I say it here? I don't think favorably of them right after I think of them as being attractive. I generally think that there's something wrong with them. And if I want to put up with it, and it completely turns me off in most scenarios, but that's another story. And I don't mean it like, I'm attracted to something other than women. No. What I'm saying is that I need to see more of her, past her physical attraction, to take her serious. That's what I mean. But anyways, so, okay, we know what the men are doing. The men are selecting other options because the woman generally thinks that she's greater and better than what the average man has to offer, even though she is of average beauty when compared to the rest of the female population. No matter how beautiful she may be. Like, okay, so here's another thing that I think women are confusing about this. While a man may think that you're a 7, 8, or 9, or 10, I think men need to change the way they say these things to help clarify this to a woman. And watch, what I'm saying here will become mainstream again, and you'll hear it over and over again, and I hope you remember where it came from. Don't say nothing to nobody. Just be like, I've heard this before. All right. Don't tell them where it came from. But what will happen is, what men should say is that I find you attractive on the 7, 8, or 9 scale, but I can find 100 other women walking out of this door right now who are just as attractive. You are therefore the average woman. I think that if it is discussed in such a way, and if it's articulated in such a way, that women will latch onto that better. And I think it will help bring them back down to reality a little bit more, because when men are, I don't want to say they're intentionally conflating, but they're not articulating and clarifying exactly what they mean when they say that she is the average woman. I hear that a lot. They say to these women who are, generally very beautiful women, you're the average woman. And the women thinks, oh, I'm a 5. No. You're not a 5. No, you're not a 5. You're a 5 in regards to the abundance of population of women who have the same level of attraction as you do, but you may be individually a 7, 8, 9, or 10, whatever, what have you, with the individual man that you come across. And generally speaking, you probably are that with the average men that find you attractive. They will view you as above average in beauty. But the problem is, once again, there are $1,100 bills compared to the amount of currency that's in the market. Right? You get the analogy now? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. But the sentiments have to change in order to articulate this better to women, because they're looking to us to explain to them what's going on. And though they may be argumentative, they may fight back and they may have their own opinions, but they're listening intently when you speak in most cases, unless you're saying something that they heard before in which they have a rebuttal for. In most cases, if you pay attention, especially if you look at the podcast and if you talk to women yourself, when you're saying something to a woman that she had not necessarily thought about before, she's pretty quiet. I don't know if you notice. Or if you're telling something that is true in her own mind that she's never articulated outside of her, she's very quiet. But those are just the things that I run across. But anyways, I just wanted to get that out. It was just a thought that I had that came to me, and I've been spewing on it for the past couple of days, and I thought I should leave it here. I think this is a good place to put it, right? The submissives, they kind of know this stuff already, but yeah, I think this is a good topic to bring up and to have a wider discussion about. I may make an addendum to this. It may be a little bit shorter, because there were some other things that I was thinking of that I just can't think of right now. But if I come up with those things, I'll just make another shorter video. Bear with me on it. I'll leave no introduction. I'll just put it as a part 2, etc. No intro, no outro. It'll just come in straight to the point. But anyways, like, comment, and share. Check me out on Facebook. Check me out on the good old Patreon. I need to update. Oh man, I'm so not motivated. Like, I don't want to, this may sound weird, but I don't want to create a whole bunch of income streams. Like, I'm really focused on just my few that I have. And I don't want to have the responsibility of managing those things. Oh, geez. Like, and good help is so hard to find these days. Jeez. Like, but anyways, this has been the Wolf in Better Clothes. May you have a good day. And of course, may peace be with you.